Hello and welcome to the next lecture. Today we're going to speak a little bit about the migration Liquibase, the Liquibase migration tool. And in previous video we see the flyway, which is interesting and useful if you have a scripts prepared, right? And you don't want to use any other tools. So in this video we're going to see something opposite of the flyway. Which is Liquibase. So the Liquibase follows the XML approach. You define your class or whatever you do, or new table, right, in a XML format. The difference is that sometimes it's hard to overcome some of the limitations, right? So if you want to, I think there was a problem with the some of the fields, like JSON fields, right? So you need to overcome some of the issues while you migrate. So yeah, and this is possible, but you need a lot of pain to do it. But in general, I've seen a lot of projects that will use the Liquibase happily without any issues, and yeah, so just yeah, let's just straight jump into it. So I'll create the same stuff that we created yesterday. So I'll create the same project as we've done in the previous video, right? So we'll have a migration Liquibase, the only difference. So we have a Quarkus Backend plugin create, package will be tech2now, artifact ID migration Liquibase, and then class name whatever, and then hello, and then I'll add only one extension, which is path extension equals the equals the Grpc MySQL. So we only need this thing. So let's create our project. Don't forget to quit the previous folder with the migration. What was it? I don't remember. So I opened project in Dmytro Chaban. Let me do the git init in a folder, so it won't. But yeah. So the difference is that I haven't added the flyway because the Liquibase for now at the moment of recording is external dependency, right? So it's not from Quarkus, but we'll overcome it with real ease. So I see one issue that even though I specified the extension, maybe I wrote it or typed it wrongly. So now we don't have a Quarkus Grpc MySQL. That's easy. So let's just copy over the dependency and rename it to Grpc MySQL like this. So now we have the MySQL with us as a dependency. And now we need to add another dependency called Quarkus Liquibase. So the problem is that you need to specify a version as well, because probably because it's not the community-driven, not the Quarkus community-driven project, this probably won't be the same. So at the current moment, just look at the GitHub page and you will see the name of the project, the version of the library, and so you currently it's 100 CR2. Yeah, so this goes from connect code, commit code, Quarkus Liquibase. If the Quarkus community decides to move it into the under the hood, then probably it will be IO Quarkus, but for now it works as is. Dmitry from Future here, and actually Liquibase is already in the toolkit of the Quarkus. So instead of my example, you can use just this IO Quarkus Liquibase instead, and of course you can add it as an extension. So yeah, other than that, this video is still actual, nothing more changed here. So yeah, so now we can specify one resource. So you can go to the resources and you can create, actually you won't believe, but you can create a DB migration. So let's create a file there called changelog, file changelog XML, right? And I have here a prepared line of code for it. So you can create XML file, and of course you need to copy over the database access as well to the properties. So we have localhost 3310, and then the database will be we'll create a new one actually. So so we have a database changelog. Here there will be default extensions for the XML, so you have the access to the specific XML types and the parameters. So yeah, so let's see what goes on here. So we have a database changelog as a root, right? And here we have a change set, which is a change set for a database. So this is like the one change set will be like one migration. So author, John in this case, then ID, some unique ID, and then we create a table. So inside this, it's already goes the migration. So you have it here, create table, table name user, column name ID, type int, column name, type text, right? So we create a column here. We can also populate it if needed. So yeah, so now let's create actually new table, right? So let's go to Docker new database. Let's exec our TIAEA bash mysql -u root -p-root, and here create database. If you have some tool, I don't know, maybe like some UI, you can create, of course, via this. I use the Docker shell, create database. So let's name it Liquibase example, like this. So yeah, so now we can copy it over as well to the IntelliJ IDEA. So yeah, so now we have a Liquibase example table. And so let's yeah, one more thing that is left to create is it actually follows the Flyway idea as well. So we need to call the Quarkus Liquibase migrate on start equals true. And now if you run the project, you will have the let me change it a little bit more so you can see. And now when you run the project, you will have the Liquibase started. So let's go to the migration Liquibase. Let's call mvnv Quarkus dev, and let's see how it will behave, right? So yeah, I actually already, so let's see what's going on. Okay, so I see that it says that unrecognized key Quarkus Liquibase migrate on start, so it should be at start. Sorry about that. Migrate at start. So now if we restart it again, you'll see that it's working correctly. Yeah, so you can see that it's created table Liquibase example user, ID int null, name text null. We don't care about the schema right now, whatever, we're just interested in migration. And yeah, so successfully there is change log. So the only difference between Flyway probably is because the Liquibase follows the change log. So let's create open our MySQL here, 3310 root database is Liquibase example, apply OK, and so you can now see the schema Liquibase example. You have here a database change log, which has the migrations here. You can see the file name and when it's executed and all this stuff, and the ID as well, some unique ID, and author, of course. And the log is, so you can see that it's logged false, which if it's locked, you can actually play with it as well. So you can put that it's locked and then rerun the app, and you will see that it's not migrating because there is already a log. This will happen if you accidentally run two migrations, right? Or two services that will migrate the same database, which is not a good idea because they will conflict. And you can see that it says that waiting for changelog log. Once we release it, or some service will release it, right? You'll see that it's just successfully tried the changelog log, and it's checked that it's up to date and everything goes well. So again, what to choose? Flyway is a good like verbose option if you want to write everything in SQL. No, you don't care about anything more than this. Liquibase is really helpful if you want to define something in XML. You can also roll back the transactions. So because of the XML, you can go one way or another. So you can create table and then drop it back, or you can insert new column and then revert it. So you can delete, and you don't need to specify it. So so basically you define one-way schema, and then on the rollback it will figure it out, because it knows. So if you create table, then probably if you roll back it, you need to drop it or something like this. So yeah, there is not so much support for the Liquibase at the moment, so you don't have any Maven tool for it right now, but I hope it will be finished soon. So yeah, thank you for watching. Now you know how to use Liquibase for migration, and I'll see you in the next video.